Before I start this rant, to anyone who likes winter 2022, I respect your opinion. Anyways, enjoy. Winter 2022, oh my god, it sucks. Now here are some bad things that happened this winter, in my opinion. First, on December 21st, my nose was bleeding before I start eating fish and french fries for lunch. Once the bleeding stopped, I ate my lunch, then I went out riding my electric skateboard around the neighborhood. Second, on December 22nd, I had fun playing with Millie, Kaylin, and Mackenzie, and we decorated some cookies, and we played hide and seek tag, some random type of hide and seek game, then treasure hunt hide and seek. Then I felt a little bored and I put my head down. Then, Millie asked me why I was upset. Then I told my mom that I was bored. Then I went back upstairs. I got in a lot of trouble by Millie for crying, which it didn't even happen, which I didn't cry. This led to me being escorted out of the cafeteria by Millie. I got in a lot of trouble by her for doing that, and I was taken straight to the office right after that happened. Then Millie had a serious talk with me about crying and putting my head down, and I told her that I just wanted to put my head down. I told her that I was bored. Then Millie let me off with a warning. She said if I do that again, she will not play with me anymore. Third, on December 23rd, I rode my electric skateboard around the neighborhood going very fast. This following day, I played a game with Miliana that day. Fourth, on Christmas Eve, I helped my dad install the plastic wrap onto the garage wall. Later on that day, church got cancelled because the deacon was sick. That really sucks, so we decided to go out for dinner instead. Fifth, on Christmas Day, we had a fun Christmas. We watched a Christmas movie which is Scrooged, and we opened up presents. The things I only got for Christmas is a soccer goal, 3 sets of necklaces, some earrings, 2 bath soap sets, some clothes, a jewelry box with gears on it, and some cologne body spray. Later on that day, we had a great Christmas dinner, and then I played with Millie upstairs and played a game of Uno. Sixth, on December 26th, I got more Christmas presents, which are from my Uncle Aaron and Marie, Auntie Crystal and Corey, Auntie Cindy, my cousin Isaiah, and Jonathan. What I got is a GoPro camera, 2 sets of scarves, cologne body spray, bus simulator for my PS4, a Nerf gun, a painted picture of a train, a puzzle piece with my first letter of my first name, and a new board game. 7th, on December 27th, I played Bus Simulator on my PS4. 8th, on December 28th, I watched some episodes of Stranger Things Season 1 on my PS4, and I started looking up some Stranger Things t-shirts on my computer. 9th, on December 29th, I started building a roller coaster on No Limits 2 Roller Coaster Simulator. 10th, on December 30th, I took off on my electric skateboard to Landon's house, and once I got there, I saw Landon playing with his friend, and then I later found out that they can't play, so I decided to keep on riding. I went into the Brighton crossings, then I went back. 11th, on New Year's Eve, I had a fun game night with Stephanie and Barb, including Miliana, and we had a lot of fun, and we watched the countdown on TV. 11th, on January 1st, I played with my cousin with Nerf guns. 12th, on January 2nd, I went to church. I heard the deacon telling about the amendments of the Lord and love, which is about loving the Lord, and the Lord loving people, along with some prayers. Church is fun. Later that day, I watched some episodes of Stranger Things on my PS4. 13th, on January 3rd, I watched more episodes of Stranger Things on my PS4, and I got my skateboard ready for school. 14th, on January 4th, I went to school, but my morning class only, and we had a meeting about that my class is gonna do something very different on our schedules, and my homeroom teacher scheduled individual mentor time every Thursday with a 101 aide, and my homeroom teacher told me that I am having a 101 aide, so she went over the things that we will be doing. Later that day, once I got off the bus at the Prairie Center Mall, I went to McDonald's and I got a 20-piece chicken nugget with 2 large fries. Then I rode my skateboard back home, and I played with Zachary inside my house. Later that day, I went out for dinner at Chili's. Then we went back home, and watched some episodes of Stranger Things on my PS4. 15th, on January 5th, All of my classes had an introduction. Then, I had trouble in my third period class because my actual teacher is out, so I continued on the day without a problem. 16th, on January 6th, I had to stay home from school because of the snow. I like snow days. I used the snowblower to clear the driveway and sidewalk. Later that day, I watched some Stranger Things on my PS4. 17th, on January 7th, I went to school, and I had PE class that day, and in my afternoon class, we did a fun scavenger hunt. 18th, on January 8th, I had a bad morning since I was acting up. I should not have done that. 19th, on January 9th, I had a bad night, and I will not go into it for personal reasons, and I was crying right before I head to bed, and worst of all, I was crying while I was using the bathroom. This day is just like December 31st, 2021 all over again. 20th, on January 10th, during second period, I got a 1 on my point sheet for taking off my mask to breathe, and that made me very mad. But in my afternoon class, we did a brake inspection on a 2016 Toyota Highlander. Now to skip to the part where I was going home. When the school day was over, I went to the bus stop on my skateboard, and I got on the bus to come home, and when I got off the bus, I was literally stuck at the park and ride because the bus left me behind. And I was crying, and I had to call my mom for that. 35 minutes later, the bus came to pick me up, and then the driver helped me. I also told him the stop on where I was getting off at. Thank God the bus driver helped me, and then I got on the bus. Once I got off at my stop, I went back home, and while I was riding my skateboard back into my neighborhood, I fell off my skateboard really hard, and there was ice on the sidewalk, and I also started crying because it started to hurt really bad. And it also started bleeding after that happened. When I got home, my nose was bleeding while I was crying. This day is just like November 12th, 2021 all over again. 21st, on January 11th, I had a mentor meeting with my 101 aide for the first time, and my homeroom teacher was discussing with me about my social security disability, and about my physical for my PE class, and also the date where I last had my physical, and also my homeroom teacher discussed with me about the date for my IEP. But it is later explained in my January 11th, 2022 rant. Then, me and my classmate Landon got on the bus to my afternoon class, and I had fun there. 22nd, on January 12th, I had a bad morning since I was acting up. Then I went to school. I also talked to one of my friends about that student I have problems with at school. 23rd, on January 13th, I went to school, but my afternoon class only, and I had a lot of fun there, and I was late for the second time since I missed the bus. 24th, on January 14th, I went to school, and in my PE class, me and my class did some drills for basketball, and in my afternoon class, we started practicing taking apart a drum break and putting it back together. When the school day was over, Stephanie and Miliana are at my house. I went on the bus to come home, and when I got off the bus, I helped my dad install a security camera on the house. And then, I had a fun game night and movie night with Stephanie and Miliana. We played Uno, and then we watched the movie Harry Potter. 25th, on January 15th, I went to an indoor skate park and had fun with my friend Salem. 26th, on January 16th, I went to church. I heard the deacon telling about Faithful of 2022, which is about faithfulness of the Lord, along with some prayers. Church is fun. 27th, on Martin Luther King Day, I had fun playing outside and riding my electric skateboard around the neighborhood. This following day, I helped my dad install the fourth security camera onto the west side of the house. 28th, on January 18th, I went to school, but my afternoon class only, and I had a lot of fun there. 29th, the next day on January 19th, I went to school. During third period, one of the students have to be separated because of a disruption, so I continued on the day without a problem. After my class, while riding my skateboard to CEC, My skateboard lost traction on its wheels and I fell on my hip really hard. And in my automotive class, we were working on replacing the brake rotor on the rear of a 2011 Ford F-150. Now to skip to the part where I was going to the bus stop, I fell off of my skateboard onto the ice yet again, and my skateboard lost traction. That's stupid. Then I got on the bus to come home. 30th, on January 20th, I had a mentor meeting with my homeroom teacher and my 1018 at our area campus, but in my homeroom class, I got a 2 on my point sheet for leaving the school early to my afternoon class and not picking up my classmate Mikia on time, so I have to try again next week. That is really gonna suck. 31st, on January 21st, at my afternoon class, during lunchtime, one of the students refused to leave me alone while I was about to sit by them, which caused me to move to a different table, and I put my head down and I got really upset. And during break, the student I have problems with started running away from me when I was about to say hello to my friend who is next to her, which caused my day to get more ruined. This day is just like November 13th 2021 all over again. After I took the bus back home from school, I had a fun game night with Stephanie and Millie. 32nd, on January 22nd, I went to a school play, and ate at Olive Garden with Stephanie, along with Kalani and Brianna. 33rd, on January 23rd, I went to church. I heard the deacon telling about Spirit-ful, which is about the Holy Spirit, along with some prayers. Church is fun. After church, me and my mom went to Flatiron Crossing, and when we entered the Apple store, one of the staff put his hand onto me to stop me from entering the store, and restricted me from entering the store, which that store is very strict about this mask rule in my opinion, and they made me wear a regular mask without my personal scarf. That is stupid. He is not supposed to do that to a kid at all, and that made me so scared. What in the heck is wrong with me wearing my scarf as a mask? He is not supposed to do that at all. The staff at this mall need to know that a scarf worn over the nose and mouth is also a face covering, and that made me upset at the end. What they did to me made me very upset. I know I wanted to wear my scarf over my nose and mouth when entering the store. They should not have done that at all, but it is later explained in my January 23, 2022 rant. 34th, on January 24th, I went to school. During third period, one of the students were being so disruptive in the lab, so I continued on the day without a problem. But in my afternoon class, I am no longer mad at the student no more. 35th, on January 25th, I had a fun snow day. 36th, the next day on January 26th, after second period, it was time to transition for healthy relationships. While I was transitioning, my homeroom teacher showed me where my new classroom is for every Wednesday. My homeroom teacher told me that I'm gonna be in Miss Hardy's homeroom, so she introduced me to her while I was on my way to healthy relationships class. I could tell you that her name is Miss Hardy. Well, she's not that bad. She's a very funny teacher, even with her jokes. Moving on, while our class started learning about paralinguistics, and worst of all, our teacher told all of kids in the class to shut up, which is not school appropriate, but it is later explained in my January 26, 2022 rant. I also had fun in my afternoon class. When I got home from school, I got a haircut. 27th, on January 27th, I had another fun snow day. This following day, I got my package from the mail. 38th, the next day on January 28th, I had a lot of fun in PE class, and in my afternoon class, we did a brake inspection on a 1981 Ford Mustang hatchback, and when I got home from school, I had a fun game night with Zachary and Bryn. 39th, on January 29th, I had fun playing outside, but while I was watching some Stranger Things on my PS4, I got in trouble for dirtying my bathroom way too much. And I was also not allowed to play outside tomorrow because of what happened earlier. And worst of all, I had to spend my night in the bathroom, by cleaning my bathroom without any help for 45 minutes. This day is just like June 15, 2018 all over again. 40th, on January 30th, the garage door broke the moment when me and my mom are heading to church, which I had to open the garage door manually, and then I went to church. I heard the deacon telling about Fruitful in 2022, which is about being fruitful to the Lord, along with some prayers. Church is fun. During that following day, I played with Landon, Layla, and Ethan, and I had fun playing with them at the park, and when I came home from playing, I played with Millie that day. 41st, on January 31st, I had fun at school, but at my afternoon class, the fire alarm went off in the middle of class, and we had a fire drill. 42nd, on February 1st, I went to school. 43rd, on February 2nd, I had a fun snow day from school. 44th, on February 3rd, I had a second snow day, and I had fun. 45th, on February 5th, my electric skateboard charge port started to blow out my charger, causing the charger to not work, and I was crying after that happened. This day is just like November 28, 2021 all over again. 46th, on February 6th, I went to church. I heard the deacon telling about the chair, which is about the Lord paying the debt, and about the Lord forgiving sins, along with some prayers. Church is fun. Later that following day, I got my electric skateboard up and running. 47th, on February 7th, I was having trouble doing my schoolwork because I was feeling sick. 48th, on February 8th, I had to stay home from school because I was sick. 49th, on February 9th, I had to miss another day of school because I got a fever yet again. Later that following day, I played with Miliana that day. I was well enough to go to school the next day. 50th, on February 10th, during my mentor meeting with my 101 aide, I got a 0 on my point sheet for telling her that I will have my parents sign the waiver for the unified basketball tournament that will be happening on February 19th, which made me mad, and that is later explained in my February 10, 2022 rant. 51st, on February 11th, I went to school, and I had fun in my PE class, and in my afternoon class, we started cleaning out the shop, and when I got home from school, I had a fun game night with Stephanie and Miliana. 52nd, on February 12th, I had fun bowling with Stephanie and Miliana. 53rd, on February 13th, I went to church online. 54th, on February 14th, I went to school, and I was mad because my laptop was acting up the moment I was about to do my assignments, which caused me to have trouble with my laptop. 55th, on February 15th, I had to do paperwork with my homeroom teacher without my mom knowing, and this got me very mad. This day is just like December 31st, 2021 all over again, and in my afternoon class, I had fun doing bookwork on car brake systems. This following day, I had fun playing with Miliana that day. 56th, on February 16th, I went to school. 57th, on February 17th, I had a fun snow day. I cleared the snow out with the snowblower, and I had fun playing on my computer. 58th, on February 18th, I had a school physical for my PE class for the basketball tournament, and then I went to PE, and in my afternoon class, during lunch, I had to be in the meeting with a behavioralist and the school therapist for the tests about my social security disability. But we left off on one of the parts, so the behavioralist and the therapist rescheduled the meeting on a Wednesday, and during class, me and my partner was machining a brake rotor. And when I got home from school, I had a fun game night with Stephanie and Miliana at the bowling alley. 59th, on February 19th, I went to the Colorado School of Mines for the Special Olympics basketball skills tournament. Our school won. 60th, the next day on February 20th, I went to church. I heard the deacon telling about Friends, which is about friendship, along with some prayers. Church is fun. Later that following day, me and my mom went out for lunch, and I had fun riding my electric skateboard around the Brighton crossings that day. 61st, on February 21st, I had fun playing with my computer. 62nd, on February 22nd, I cleared the snow off of the driveway and the sidewalk with the snowblower. This following day, I played with Miliana that day. 63rd, the next day on February 23rd, I went back to school. 64th, on February 24th, I stayed home from school due to the bad weather. 65th, on February 25th, I went to PE class, but there was a substitute teacher. But in my afternoon class, me and my partner started working on taking apart and putting together a drum brake unit, and when I got home from school, I had a fun dinner at Five Guys with my mom and dad. 66th. The next day on February 26th, I had a bad day since I was acting up. I should not have done that. 67th. On February 27th, I went to church on my computer, and I rode my electric skateboard around the neighborhood. Later that following day, I played with Miliana that day. 68th. On February 28th, one of the students were being rude to me and refused to leave me alone while I was hanging out in the lab, which made me very mad. I didn't want to be near them anymore, and what's worse, they told me to stop asking them whenever they are laughing over something. That's stupid. And in my afternoon class, we were learning how to use an on-car brake lathe. 69th. On March 1st, I went to homeroom at Auraria campus, and then my homeroom had me email the school therapist and other school staff to a meeting on March 8th without my mom and dad knowing, and leaving my mom and dad uninvited to my meeting. That's stupid, and that is later explained in my March 1st 2022 rant. And in my afternoon class, we were learning how to use an on-car brake lathe. 70th. On March 2nd, I went to school, and in my afternoon class, I had fun playing soccer with the boys. And then, I fell off of my skateboard really hard, and thank God my friends helped me. This following day, I played with Miliana and my friends that day. 71st. On March 3rd, I went to school, but my afternoon class only, and I had a lot of fun there. 72nd. On March 4th, I had to miss a day of school because I went to a doctor's appointment for a physical. This following day, I played with Zachary, Nicole, Gavin and Miliana that day, and I had a fun game night with Miliana and Kalani. Then, I got in a lot of trouble for using tools inappropriately, which made me upset at the end. Stephanie was mad at me too, and I had to clean the area as a result. This even led to me getting a 2 on my point sheet for using tools inappropriately. This also made me cry. 73rd. On March 5th, baby Nico spent the day with me and my mom and dad. This following day, I got a haircut. 74th. On March 6th, I went to church, and we had communion. Communion happens in the beginning of every month. I heard the deacon telling about flourishing in God's economy, which is about praising the Lord, along with some prayers. Church is fun. I also went to IOP. 75th. On March 7th, the fire alarm was malfunctioning at school due to a surge in the fire suppression system. 76th. The next day on March 8th, me and my dad went on a meeting with my homeroom teacher at Auraria campus about the stupid paperwork, and emailing different people instead of having my parents email them because I'm my own guardian. Are you kidding me? I hate being my own guardian and own stupid adult, and that is later explained in my March 8, 2022 rant. 77th. On March 9th, I had to stay home from school because of the bad weather. 78th. On March 10th, I had another fun snow day from school. This following day, my dad went on a trip to Arizona. 79th. The next day on March 11th, I had fun in my gym class, but in my afternoon class, I was on track to earn a snack for perfect attendance, but I didn't, so I have to try again next week. That is really gonna suck. 80th. On March 12th, I had a lot of fun playing with Millie. I also went to Red Robin. 81st. The next day on March 13th, I was crying because I miss my dad so much, and I later found out that his flight got cancelled. This following day, I played with my friends, Landon, Layla, and Ethan. I also played with Nicole. 82nd. On March 14th, I went back to school. This following day, my dad finally came back home from Arizona. 83rd. The next day on March 15th, I had a mentor meeting at Auraria campus with my homeroom teacher and my 1018, but in my afternoon class, we did a contest on which electrical wire bracelet can handle heavy objects. When I got home from school, I got in trouble for being too loud, which almost woke up my mom. I should not have done that. Later that following day, I played with Landon and Layla, and Ethan that day. 84th. On March 16th, one of the students were being rude to me during third period. which made me very mad. I didn't want to be near this student anymore. And worst of all, the teacher told one of the students to shut up. How stupid. And that is later explained in my March 16, 2022 rant. 85th. On March 17th, I stayed home from school because of the bad weather. 86th. The next day on March 18th, I had fun in my PE class, but in my afternoon class, I was working on a project on my electric skateboard. Then, I missed the bus because my electric skateboard broke down, and my uncle picked me up from school, and he took me to my grandma's house. I also went to a Mexican restaurant with my mom and dad. When I got home from school, I got in trouble again, just like what happened in March 4, 2022, and I got a 0 on my point sheet. 87th. On March 19th, I went to the Colorado Academy Athletic Center for the school state basketball game. Our school won. 88th. On March 20th, I went to church on the computer. I also went to Dion's. Thank God winter 2022 ended on March 20th, 2022 at midnight. And thank God it's in the past now. I don't know who likes or hates winter 2022. So I'm just gonna leave it be. Winter 2022 sucks. And so does winter 2020. Note, if you like winter 2020, I respect your opinion. March 2018, which is the month I had fun at school, is 140 million times better than winter 2022. End of rant.